Humanity has collectively been responsible for a depressingly large amount of animals going extinct in our relatively short time on this Earth. However, perhaps no creature was wiped from the face of the planet for as silly a reason as the Great Auk. Once endemic to the North Atlantic, the Great Auk was a flightless seabird not too dissimilar in appearance to a penguin. In fact, penguins are believed to have gotten their name from the Great Auk's scientific name of Penguinus impennis, due to an early and incorrect belief that the two birds must be related due to their appearance. Moving swiftly on, at one point in time, the North Atlantic was positively lousy with great auks, with the bird being found everywhere from the coasts of Great Britain to the rocky inlets near Canada. Naturally, the abundance of great auks made them a popular source of food for sailors, who are said to have hunted them in massive numbers. Being a flightless bird, more at home in the sea than on land, sailors found hunting great auks to be an almost comically simple affair, since the bird's awkward, ungainly waddle on land meant that they couldn't exactly run away with any grace, let alone any precision or speed. The fact that great auks supposedly didn't fear humans only made hunting them easier, to the point where there were reports of sailors simply walking onto the islands that were covered in great auks with a sack and just casually picking up the birds by the handful. As early as the late 16th century, experts were made aware that the population of the bird in some areas had been nearly totally decimated by hunters, and a number of protections were put in place to perhaps save the species from being completely wiped out. Said protections included whipping the living crap out of anyone caught stealing the eggs of the bird, which still didn't stop people from hunting them anyway, because it's not like the ocean was going to snitch on them. By the early 1800s, the bird was critically endangered, to the point that some sailors believed it to be totally extinct, which ironically may have led to the bird's ultimate demise. You see, news of the bird's rarity caused private collectors and museums to issue large bounties for surviving specimens to display. This, in turn, caused the sailors to hunt the few remaining great auks in existence with a renewed zeal. By the 1840s, the bird was all but extinct when the very last breeding pair was killed by a trio of sailors. The sailors, under orders from a merchant who wanted a pair of great auk pelts for display, found the birds nesting on a rock. Not wanting to startle them, by this point the birds were understandably wary of humans, the trio snuck up under the cover of night and literally strangled them both to death. Then, for no particular reason other than screw the great auk, they stomped the bird's nest a few times to destroy the egg that they had been incubating. And if you didn't think that was spiteful enough, we should probably point out here that almost exactly 4 years earlier, from when the last breeding pair of great auks were killed, the last great auk ever seen in British waters was unceremoniously beaten to death with a stick by a bunch of superstitious sailors who thought that it was a witch. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you're looking for something else from me, I've got a podcast called The BrainFood Show. I'm going to link to that below. Check it out if you could be interested in that. And as always, thank you for watching.